Witness history in the making. The McIntyre Mini Globe Race 2025. Small boat, huge adventure.
Well, here we go. It's the 2nd of May. No, February, March, April, May, 5. Yes, that's correct. And the time's flying. I'm out of here in a few days, so be ready to miss a couple of days of updates. But where will we be? Renaud will be back at sea again, so we'll probably, Dan, we've got 6, 7, 8. Yeah, Dan will be back at sea, and then there'll be a few back at sea, just heading out, just as I'm in the air and heading to China. So anyway, but just funny little thing just happened, and I think I frightened a few people because Jasmin, first of all, is not in distress. Everything's fine. But one of my favourite sites is online is Sailing Anarchy, and I hadn't been on there for probably a couple of weeks. I've been too busy, and I thought, head over to Anarchy and have a look, see what's going on. I'm known as the mad bastard over there because of all these crazy ideas I have. So that happens. A lot of people, think the ideas we have are crazy, but it's happening, which is good. So it's good to get their comments and stuff. But as I say, it's a great site. If you've never seen it, it's called Sailing Anarchy, and the general theme is that you get on there and bag all the events, and you swear a lot, and you say, a bunch of idiots, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we cracked the big league in the front. The editor put the press release up, or the photo of the press release with Jasmin, and you might see the post at the bottom, and he says, it looked like this lady might need a hand, whatever. And I thought, and then as soon as he said it, I looked at the Union Jack on the mainsail, and I said, Jesus, upside down. It's one of those things that you don't really notice unless you're looking for it, but it's very clear when you've been taught about the Union Jack. And I was, as a kid at school, I remember it distinctly in primary school, being given a lesson about how the Union Jack is made up in Scotland and all the rest of it, and where the bits came from. And also, it's happened before with the Golden Globe race. And I forget who it was. Someone, one of the Brits brought up that it could have even been one of our flags, because we always, at the start of the OGR, we'll have one flag for every nationality in the Golden Globe race, and we put them all up on the balcony of our office. It looks really super cool, and we've had a few little mix-ups there, and I think it was us. We actually had the Union Jack, the British flag, upside down, and one of the POMs said, "Hey, you got my flag upside down." That really miffed them off. And then the other one was, and it's a poignant time to bring this up, when we had the flags there, there was a mistake. We'd put for some reason, we put a Pakistani flag up. We still had the Indian flag, but we had a Pakistani flag up, and I'm not sure how it got there, but we had a Pakistani flag up. And of course, when Abolish was there, being a staunch Indian, he said, "Hey, no, what do you got that bloody thing up there for?" Blah, blah, blah. So we had to pull that down as well. And anyway, so yes, Jasmin has her English flag, the Union Jack, upside down on her mainsail. It's not a reflection of the sides because the sail is opaque. You can't see it. So I'm not sure whether she's got the same on the other side or whether it's just that side that's got it upside down. And it's as simple as this. In fact, this is a funny story too. The flags like that, if it's upside down, all you do is you go like that, put it the right way up, and it works. And I'll show you. We'll do it. I'll come back again. I'm just wasting time here. While people turn up, and we're getting a few people turn up. So her flag is upside down, and when you do that, it's a sign of distress. So the editor of Sailing Anarchy, Scott, says, we better go and give her a hand, but it was a bit cryptic. So I then put the post up, which you can see below, and I said, Sailing Anarchy, look at this, that's what they said, there's the headline, but she's blah, 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 and the people putting emotions on were just either liking it, and a few people put, take care. And then it occurred to me, and said, shit, maybe they think she's in distress, because I didn't really quantify what was going on. So then I had to put a little bit on. This is a bit of a joke, there's something wrong with that photo, because not a lot of people would know what was there. So I had to quickly change that. Anyway, she's fine. She's having a great time. She's 100 miles out at 3 o'clock local time. So that'd be 1 o'clock UTC, which is 1300. So at 1300, Jasmin was 100 miles out. Yeah, thanks, Warren. All good. So yeah, a few things happening, and also Jacob's in and Adam's in, so there's not many people out there. Anyway, it'll be a quicker update, so I'll go straight for that. Warren's told me we are live on YouTube, and I see some people lining up on Facebook, so that's fine. So anyway, we will just do a message there. Anyway, I'll come back to that. I'll do this first so I'm not distracted. Boom. Okay, let's go to the tracker, and this will only be a quick one because there ain't many left. So you should have the tracker now, and I get onto the tracker here, and I get that up there, so it's a little bit bigger. And you can see we've got Gary, we've got Josh, we've got Jasmin, and there could be Ayrton in there somewhere. Yep, there's Ayrton getting very close. And we got the others heading up there, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So for now, we will head back to check out Popeye. I like putting that in. I'll just drop it down so we can get there. Popeye and the boys. I absolutely won't be coming up every day just for Popeye and John. It will be, every few days. But the others will be starting to take off again. They're on top of each other again. So I've got to go in really tight to see. But I should just do one because they're both moving the same. Where are I? I lost them there. Japers, creepers. There. Okay. Get that down the middle. Well, we know they're really close. So, okay. So John is doing 4.9 knots, 116 mile day. Popeye's got 4.5 knots, 97 mile day, and they're probably less than a mile apart. So they're looking at each other again. And we'll now head back to show you where they are relatively. Can I get the Galapagos? They might be too far away from it. There they go. So they've cruised pretty well straight through. They're in the middle of the track of the previous fleet. And the currents are, they're just below a big shift, but they're probably, they'll be getting a bit there. They'll be getting, close to a knot, maybe half a knot, between a knot and a half a knot by the look of it. So that'll be helping their dailies, but they're still just a bit under, a little bit under the magic 100. So if we just check it for a day forward, here we go, pretty much the same. 2 days forward, it's getting a bit lighter. So 3 days forward is lighter again, but by then they'll be up here, so they'll probably hold it, but it looks like a few days of light weather and calm seas, so no problem for them. As long as they can maintain their 100-mile days, they'd be pretty happy. Okay, so we're back to real-time weather, and we've got, I'm going to go back to front because you'll see what's happening with Gary at the back then. So Jasmin, 4.1 knots, 105-mile day. I'll measure it off in a minute when I measure off Ayrton as well. Josh has got 4.1, same deal, 111-mile day. Identical. That's not, yeah, it's got a little bit faster than Jasmin. And Gary back here is doing 3.4 and 99 miles a day, but the weather looks similar. So it's going to be interesting to see what the barnacle issue is. When he gets in, it could be quite a surprise there, I reckon. So, and Ayrton is very close. Let's just have a look at a couple of days of weather. But 2 days, Jasmin will be in tomorrow, and Gary will be a few days after that. So similar for it's going to get quiet as Jasmin's moving in. It's going to get quiet, so it'll be a slow finish, and then on the second, third, fourth. For Gary's got breeze all the way through, but Jasmin might slow down a little bit. A couple of them slowed down going in. You might have seen the pictures there. Did I put a picture post up? I can't. We've got a video there from Argo, and I forget now. Currents, we'll have a look just for old time's sake. Gary's got a current with him as well, so that's been giving him a bit more speed, so he's going really slow. That's interesting. There's a bit of a current coming down the island. So that's that one. Let's now go big scale so we can see what's going on. First thing you notice is that Renaud and Daniel have shot through. They're heading up to Nuka Hiva up here to have another look, and they will actually then be set to clear from there. do their departure from there, going down to the Tuamotus down the bottom. So you can see here, where are we? Get rid of this. They're going down to Papeete here. If you get on the chart, you'll see here. Here's all the islands of the Tuamotus. There's all sorts of them all over the place, and they're going to have to thread their way through. But getting in there and doing that trick, if I show you the difference in distance from where they are there, that is 758 miles. So it's 758 miles from there, and then going to the other anchorage over here, it's pretty much the same. Okay, because there's 90 degrees to the course. It just depends where they weave their way through the Tuamotus. So it means you get two spots, and it means sailing from down here up to Nukuheva. The wind's sort of on the, it's a favourable wind direction. Anyway, so they get two spots, which is kind of nice. Okay, so that explains that lot. I get rid of that. We had previously said, for some reason, it was only 500 miles to Papeete, but it's actually 750. So that changes a few things. A bit longer than we thought. Still a short sprint compared to what they've had in the past. So, okay. What am I doing here? We're going up really big so we can look at who's arrived, and I can explain that on their track. Okay, here it comes. Pila's over in her own little bay. That's interesting. Let's have a look where she's gone. Maybe she entered that by mistake, or maybe she just wanted somewhere by herself. Because I saw that when we were looking around the other day. It's a nice little bay. The anchorage should be okay. No, just the right one. No, they went down here. They had the big one. So now there's a second group. She's gone to the top spot. That's below was where Renaud and Dan went, and she's in another nice little bay down here. No, that's what's going on here. So they must have come here, and then, hang on, they must have sailed down here as well. No, they did too. So, okay, so what they've done is when Dan came down, hang on. Oh, now I'm completely confused, because here's Pila coming in, and that was Dan. The brown one's Dan. Don't mind me, I'm waffling on a bit here. So they must have moved a couple of times. Hard to keep up because we've been all over the place, of course. So yeah, Dan went in there and went across here. So they've checked out a couple of spots. Anyway, they're having a nice time. So hopefully we'll get some pictures and stuff from Pila. Coming back to the big picture here. We can see everyone's taken different tracks in. This was the most interesting one, which was Dan Turk. I think he went right over the side here before he went in. The others have done different attraction points. They're all in the marina there. If you haven't seen it before, this is what it looks like. Boom, boom. This is the breakwater here. They're all anchoring somewhere in here. A couple of them put stern lines to the wall off the anchor, and it's all very clear as long as the resupply ship, which is quite a big combination container come cruise ship, comes in, ties up on this wharf and offloads all the containers as well as the passengers for the day while they're offloading. And you've seen the pictures. It's quite a cool place. So that's where they are. So as I said, Jacob's in, Adam's in. I've got the pictures. I'll do a post shortly putting up some of the things that they've given us already. And then failing that now, we've just got to see what's going on with Ayrton, I think it is. I think he's next. Come back, you'd be getting giddy on that. Yeah, there's Ayrton there. So at 1600, Ayrton had about 10 miles to go, and it's now 1600, which is 4 o'clock. Half an hour later, so he's going to arrive in about 2 hours. He's got no wind. I don't know whether he's got battery capacity. He should have. He should be in a position where the battery is fully charged, so he might be able to motor. Argo had challenges getting in because he literally ran out of wind, and he didn't know how good his batteries were, so he drifted in. He probably added about 3 hours by what I could look at. 3 hours to getting in the last bit. 2.5, 3 hours, rather than just motoring in. If he had been able to motor all the way, it would have saved maybe 2 or 3 hours, and no wind. Now Ayrton should be in a similar situation, but he should have full batteries, so he could even right now be motoring. It's hard to say what the wind is there. If you were motoring, you wouldn't go fast. So we'll have to wait and see. But sometime in the next couple of hours, and that's still in daylight, so he will have arrived in daylight, which is what he wanted to do. Now, the next one, I'll just give you a distance to work out the ETA. It'll be Jasmin. And at that time, she was... Come on. Nope. Wrong deal. Here we go. Boom, boom there, and boom, boom there. So she's got 62 miles to go, and she'll be slowing down as well. Yeah, 4 knots, so that's 15 hours. Yeah, about 15 hours. So that's in the dark, potentially. So we'll wait and see how that goes. But anyway, it won't be quick. It could even slow down a lot more, so she might be there, around dawn or something. She might even slow down, I'm not sure. But she'll tell us, I'm sure. But the main thing is she's not in distress, and we'll talk about that after. So with the flag, if you just joined, she's got a flag on the mainsail upside down, which is a sign of distress. It's been like that forever. Okay, so what are we doing here? We're not going up. We want to go down to check the distance. Come on. Nope. There we go. Sometimes I'm just disjointed because we're going all over the place. There's Josh. Okay, so Josh is currently 300 miles out. Okay, so that's only going to be doing 100-mile days, 110. So that's potentially just under 3 days. So just under 3 days from now, which means he should be able to get in. Yeah, it'll be just under 3 days. So he'll be daylight, but it'll be 3 days. So today's the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So he'll arrive in daylight, probably in the morning on the 5th. Okay, and we'll leave Gary because he's going to get slower and slower. So that's it. And we went through the wind. That's really all we've got to say there now. Yep, that's everything. So quick one. I'll come back to here, and we'll talk about the flag. So so it was a bit of a funny thing about the flag on the sail. It's not going to be easy to peel it off and turn it up the right way, but just for fun's sake, here's the deal, because some people might not know this unless you're Brit or whatever it is. But let's just say this used to be the English flag, okay, and I'm not sure that more or less called the Saint. I'm pretty sure that's called the St. George Cross, because we use that on the burgee we have. It's the purest form of the English flag. Goes back to the Knights of the Realm and all that sort of stuff. I'm not an expert in English history at all. I'm just using a bit of, not ad lib, but the way I remember it without looking. I quickly grabbed stole this photo off the web, of course, the web, just so I can explain it, because I distinctly remember being instructed on this when I was a little kid, when we're using inkwells for writing. Right, it used to be an ink monitor. Okay, someone was allocated the ink monitor for a week, and I always remember spilling it when I had it. You have like a teapot. You go to a big urn, like a hot water urn in the where you hang your bags up, and it'd be full of black ink, and you have to fill up this little bloody teapot, and you go around and tip on a little bit of ink in all of the things. Anyway, I digress. I'll stop that conversation. So here's Scotland. Okay, so that became part of England. Okay, and an interesting subject. Ireland became part of England. We won't go into the politics, and they're all laid on top of each other. So you put those two together, you put the Scottish flag on top of the English flag, and boom, that's what you got, the original Union flag of 1606. And then you put the Ireland flag, we won't talk about politics or religion, put that on the top as well, and you had the current Union flag, and that's been established since 1801. Now, how do you know when it's upside down? This is what you've got to remember, okay? The easiest way is to say, see that big fat gap right there on the northwestern corner of the flag? It's white. The thickest part has to be white on the northwestern corner, and the thinnest part at the top is on the northeastern corner. So you go fat and then thin. Fat on the left, thin on the right. Okay, that's how you tell it. And if it's upside down, like on Jasmin's boat, it's the opposite. Okay, and that's really the only way you can pick it. That's why most people looking at it wouldn't know, So anyway, it's like the French flag is the same as another flag. You turn it the other way around, but it's a different country. We won't go there. So that's a bit of interesting distraction. Oh, sorry, back again. Okay, enough of that. Time to get out of here. What I didn't tell you was that this is really getting off track. It's the weekend, I know, but see this little flag I had here. You know what that is? This little flag I used comes from this little box of chocolates. I like these. I just ate half a packet while I was sitting there. Whole half a packet, about 20 of them, all gone in one session. I digress. Yeah, I'm bad. Okay. So what do we got? Warren, g'day. Thanks for that tip-off. Now, this is Sid. Hello, Don from Lee on the Solent. Me and Tina Pillar's manager are having a meeting. Where are you guys? Well, I'm in Les Abdelone, so you can grab me. You've got all the numbers there. You're quite happy to get it. You probably maybe discussing aspects of the entrant update we just sent out. Part of that was telling the exit procedure and what the entrants have to do, just reconfirming how they get out. And I'll tell you what it is now here, because you're probably interested. How do they leave? Well, as you know, when they got in, they actually have to, once they drop the pick, when they're potentially their last spot, when they can paddle ashore, they're within striking distance to go and clear customs and immigration. So now you can see that Dan and Renaud are heading up to Nuka Hiva, and they'll drop the pick there. Okay, and Renaud will be leaving on the 4th, I think it is. I think it's the 4th. And so he get a day to look around, and the next day he'll go and clear customs and immigration, because he would have got permission to sail north, I think, with the government side of it. You can depart from another port. That's easy. And so he'll go and clear it, customs immigration. He'll come back and he'll sit on the boat and wait until the clock says he's actually been there. Hang on, I've got another bloody. What's that up there for? I'll get rid of that. Cheapest. Too many distractions. So he'll be sitting there, and exactly when he's 8 days up, he takes a picture of his chart plotter and GPS to show his position and that he's stationary. Okay, and once he's got that picture with the Citran bear, right, that's all we need to see, because it means his 8 days were up, he's stationary, we've got the position, we've got the time, we've got the bear, and as soon as he's done that, he can go up forward and pull the anchor up and bugger off. Okay, that's all they do. So it's very simple out procedure, and then within the next 12 hours or something, they've got to transfer that photo to their manager, and then their manager will send it to us as part of the process. The other one is they have what we've spoken about before, which is the exit form from the manager. So the entrant has to tick all the boxes on the entrant form to make, they've got to say, yes, their safety key is all operational. Yes, their VHF is working. Yes, their AIS is working. Yes, they've got, or they've got to say, yes, they've got at least 100 litres of water on board. All those different things. It's like a safety inspection without having one. It's not everything, but it's all the key elements. And if they don't have any defects, that's fine. They then tell their manager that, yep, we're all set to go with that form. The manager then informs us that all's okay and they can go. So it's a final check procedure. So if something happens to them while they're underway, the manager can clearly say to the Rescue Coordination Centre that this is what they had on board. This was the state of play when they left. They were in good shape. And they go. Now, sometimes they'll have a defect, right? Something might not be right. Maybe their AIS isn't working, and there's no way they can get their AIS fixed in Nuka Hiva, for instance. So what we say then is that the manager and the entrant have to tell us, preferably before they leave. They really need to tell us before they leave, in case we can suggest, for instance, oh, hang on, I know a guy that's got an AIS there, you can probably fix it. But quite likely they will actually leave with a defect. Now, that's not unusual even for cruising boats. They'll be at sea and they haven't got all their gear working. And it's not generally unsafe, because an AIS isn't mandatory under navigation laws, although it's getting that way now when you visit foreign countries. But they do the best they can. And then what we say as a concept, an ethos for the race, they then need to fix that in the next port of call. So we don't like them going off on two legs of two stages of one leg with the same defect. They've really got to fix it the second time. Otherwise, we might not let them go until they fix it, or we could give them a penalty or something, because It's not fair enough. So that's the other one. And in amongst that as well, there is an obligation for all the entrants to send us all their photos and all their videos, so that once, before they leave this stage, they have to get us the photos and videos. They've got to give it to their manager. So they've got to download it or upload it to their manager, and then once that's done, they can tick that final box in the exit sheet, and then they're underway. And then the manager, within 48 hours or so, they need to send us the copies of all their photos and videos, and we can use that material to supply you with information and create the videos and its historical record for the future, and hopefully for a documentary at the end and all that sort of stuff. So that's part of their exit. If they haven't done it, they're not able to leave. And if they do leave without sending it, they could get up to a 36-hour penalty, because that's one of the things they don't like doing. They would rather go and sit on the beach and dream of palm trees, or they'd go to lunch or whatever, which is fair enough. And we understand that as well. But there's a balance. We need that stuff. And if it doesn't get done, it just never gets done. And everyone's a loser when that happens. So they've got a few admin things. They've got to clear customs, immigration, all that sort of stuff, and fill out their exit and entry forms for the event and send us all the pictures and videos. So that's how that works. Okay, yeah, and they don't need to, John's just asking, don't need to leave from where they first anchored. No, not at all. It gives them some flexibility. But it's a unique situation for the Marquesas, which we knew. There's 3 entry ports and so on. Going back to history, there was a lot of grumbling at one stage, because when we came up with the concept of the course, we had a mystery island. You could stop anywhere in a mystery island. Then you go to Papeete, and then you go to Tonga, and then you go to Fiji. And at one point, people were saying, I'd rather not spend any time in the Marquesas because I'm not really interested. I'd rather spend all the time in Papeete, or I'd rather not stop. I'd stop for 1 day in Marquesas, 2 days in Papeete, 1 day in Tonga, and get an extra 3 weeks in Fiji. And initially we thought that might be, it's a bit boring because there's no stopovers. And in the end, it got so confusing. We said, bugger it. We're going back to the original plan, where it's a journey and an experience around the world with the ports. So we are controlling how long they have in the port. And we said, nope, you must stop for 8 days in the Marquesas. And that's it. End of story. And there was a few grumblings at the time from some, not everyone, just the racing guys wanted to race, or they wanted to be there for 2 days. But, what if the weather's really good and I want to go then, because after 8 days I'm going to be stuck, the weather's shit, and the other guy got an advantage. I said, sorry, that's the name of the game. Because we want people to talk about their experiences when they get into port. So in a year's time, when the whole thing's finished, they say, wow, that was incredible. I saw volcanoes in Vanuatu, and I saw all this sort of stuff, blah, 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 and it's part of the journey. So it's very interesting to see what happens, because I saw a message from one stage said, you're not going to do any tourism stuff. You're just going to sit on the boat and prepare the boat to get it all racing. No, he's having a great time now. He's playing the tourist, and why not? Why wouldn't you? It looks like it's a beautiful place. I've never been there, so I'm confident that now they can see the benefits of having some compulsory stopovers. It gives them a break, and it breaks that racing routine a bit, and they're seeing these exotic places. So that side of it, once again, they understand how it all works. So yes, you can get into one spot and clear from another spot. So that's cool. Warren, are you sure her flag can be rotated? I see what you mean. Yeah, because it can't. Oh, yeah, no, you can. Yeah, because they're all crosses. So you turn it all up the other way, and it'll then be right. Okay, so because remember, they're not transparent. They're an opaque sticker that sticks on the sail. So there's one on port side, one on starboard side. The one on the starboard side, for instance, could actually be the right way up, right? But the one on the port side, if you peel it off and just rotate it 180 degrees, it'll be right, unless they printed it back to front. But no, that wouldn't matter, because it's symmetrical. Well, I don't know what you'd say. It's symmetrical, asymmetric for the thing. So yes, I'm very certain you can just twist it around 180 degrees and it'll be right. But if I don't tell anyone, no, I'm not going to say anything, so no one would know. This is Scott's fault in Sailing Anarchy. The guy, he's asked me to do a podcast with him, and he's a very interesting guy. And the whole Sailing Anarchy scene is quite crazy. It's unique in the industry. It's unique in websites as well. The way they manage it, what they say, and what they do is really quite cool. Um, and anyone can say anything. There's no censorship. It's unbelievable. So if you're not used to swearing, be careful. But the forums are really cool. They get some interesting things across. Okay, I think you have to flip it top to bottom, like that way, so it will be sticky on the wrong side. No, it shouldn't be because it's. Let me have a look at the picture here. Hang on a sec. We can go. No, this is. Let's see. I'm going to turn my computer upside down, but there it is. There's the fat one on the other side. No, the fat one's got to be on the left. That's right. So I can see already just 180 degrees. You got the fat one on the left and the skinny on the right. So that's fine. Yeah, it's a 180 degree rotation, and she'll be fine. But if I was Jasmin, I wouldn't try and peel it off, because with all these sorts of things, if you try to peel it off and then turn it and stick it down again, it'll probably never stick and it'll fall off. So that's just a fun part of the race, and no one's going to see that and think she's in trouble. Anyway, that's a good story. Okay, do you have a list that you could share of all the departure dates and times for them all to leave the current stopover? No. I've got it somewhere, but I don't know whether I can. I'm not too worried about it. I'm not sure. Maybe you want to see them wave them goodbye or something, but I could probably do it. But I've got so much stuff going on. You got no idea. I've got to put covers on 2 boats. I've got to get in under the house, and I've got to do all this sort of stuff in the next few days. So I'm really flat out. But I'll see. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. Thanks, Rachel. I tried it, and don't think that I tried it. I don't think you tried rotating the thing. I haven't seen her picture, but it's very clear. Once again, I'll put it on here. So what you've got, if you look at the flag on the bottom, the current Union flag, okay, you've got the fat in the northwestern corner. We're talking about the white here. You've got a fat white one on the northwestern corner, okay, and on the northeastern corner, you've got a thin white one next to the blue, right? That's it. Now, if you turn your head around, right, because you can't turn the picture around, but if you look at the bottom southeastern corner of the flag, you'll see it's fat up against the blue. Now, if you rotate that 180 degrees, it's gone from northeast to northwest, and then it's correct, right? So 180 degrees, it's the same pattern on each side. So you just swing it around. I haven't looked at Jasmin's picture, but I'm sure they printed the flag right, the Union flag, but they just got it in the wrong position. Hang on a sec. I see what you mean, because oh no, that's right. Yeah, that's right. This could be, oh boy, I saw something the other day that completely blew me away. It's like a crazy puzzle thing, but anyway, we won't go there. So I'm still confident, 180 degree rotation, and you'll have it the correct way round. I see what you mean. You're right. Now I'm looking at it, but hang on a minute. I just did that and it stays the same. So therefore, if it was wrong the other way, and we turn it 180 degrees, it's printed the wrong way. You're right. Okay, the inquisitive mind, even when I say I think it's right, I never try to say absolutely correct. But yep, I think you're right, because I just proved it. You got fat on the left. I'm just staring at that picture. Fat on the left, you turn it 180 degrees, and it's still fat on the left. And Jasmin's flag has got thin on the left, so when she rotates it again, it's going to still be thin on the left. So you're right, it's printed wrong. So whoever did that one, that's a quantum thing, because that's a new mainsail, I think. That's a new mainsail. So quantum printed it wrong. Oh boy, it gets complicated now. Anyway, let's not go there. There's bigger things in life to worry about, like the bloody. Oh, we won't talk about Trump. Jeepers. Okay, remind us what. Hang on a sec. I'm losing stuff behind the hide things. What's the hide thing for? What date you are leaving for China? Oh, that's personal. Jeepers. You're going to come and wave me goodbye, John. I leave effectively. The 6th is my last day here now. I'm on the train at very early in the morning on the 7th, heading to Charles de Gaulle. It's a big train ride to Paris, and then a taxi from there to the airport and so on. That's the 6th. So there won't be anything happening on the 7th. and we'll be up as long as the Chinese don't nail us with the VPN, which so far so good. But sometimes they get really good. Stop laughing, Warren. It's not funny. It was serious. I'm not sure what you're laughing about, but either the flag rotation or bloody Trump. Anyway, selfie mirror image, something like that. Yeah, it's really quite fun. All right, that's enough of that. So anyway, everyone's having fun, and it's the MGR is going really well. So touch wood. I forgot to change that. You've been staring at the flag all that time. You didn't have to put up with me. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, have a good weekend. We'll see you. What's cheapest? Here we go again. That wasn't meant to be there either. That's crazy. That's meant to be there. I'm trying to get the outfalls again. Anyway, doesn't matter. Thanks. Thanks. So I'm just going to turn it off. It's not doing the right thing here. That's meant to be the bloody thing.
Witness history in the making.
Anyway.
The McIntyre Mini Globe Race 2025.
Never mind.
Small boat, huge adventure.